Sir Handel's Holiday Rescue. One Christmas Eve on the Scalaway Railway, Duke popped into Crowburn's gate yard to find Sir Handel complaining again, just as he had been all week.
Grr, I don't get why everyone loves this time of year so much, he grumbled as he gave a truck a rather hard bump. What's so great about icy rails and snowdrifts and delayed trains?
Oh, here we go again, sighed Duke.
What's that supposed to mean, Grandpuff?
Shouted Sir Handel.
It means, said Duke, that every Christmas I've been on this railway, you've done nothing but complain. If we'd actually look past the negatives for once, you might actually come to appreciate it. Huh, you're talking rubbish, Grandpuff, he said. How am I supposed to look past the negatives when there are no positives? And he stormed off, furious.
Sir Handel was still in a sour mood when he got to the quarry, and he took his anger out on the trucks, biffing them furiously.
Ah, oh, ah, they cried. We want a proper engine, not this blue bug.
This really set off Sir Handel, and he bashed the truck so hard they flew right off the rails.
Ah, ah, oh, ah!
Cried the trucks as they fell on their sides.
Oh, damn it,
grumbled Sir Handel. Peter Sam soon arrived with the works train, and with him the thin controller.
I hate to say it, Sir Handel, but your behaviour today does not surprise me at all, he said in a stern tone. But on Christmas Eve, Sir Handel? Oh, this is just unacceptable.
Sir Handel didn't respond. He just looked at his wheels crossly.
As your punishment, I shall have you strictly managing the coal deliveries until the new year.
And he turned on his heel and walked away. That night, Sir Handel set off for the first coal train, and, as expected, he grumbled all the way to Crowburn's gate, where Rheneas was waiting to depart with the last train scheduled before New Year's Day. Rheneas ignored Sir Handel's complaining, as he always did, and when all the passengers had boarded his train, he set off into the cold night. Unfortunately, Rheneas often found himself slipping on the icy rails, but he wasn't going to let a little thing like that stop him, and he pressed on up the line.
Must keep going, he panted. Must keep... Ah! Ah! With a creak and a groan, he stopped halfway across the cliffside.
Why can't I make steam? Said Rheneas, who was extremely confused. Don't you worry, lad, we'll have a look, said his driver. He and the fireman soon came back with bad news. It looks like your ejector's frozen, Rheneas, said the fireman. You won't be going any further tonight.
What?
Said a startled Rheneas.
But I have to get these passengers home for Christmas.
Calm yourself, lad. Hurry up the line and see if I can get help, said the driver. And so Rheneas sat there in the cold, hoping his passengers would get home somehow. Rheneas' driver ran up to Scalaway Station to find Sir Handel and the thin controller there, and explain what had happened to Rheneas.
Good Lord, said the thin controller. What are we going to do? We can't just leave him there.
I can bring him here, sir, said Sir Handel. Scalaway's his last stop, after all. The thin controller was astounded. Are you being serious, Sir Handel? He asked in bewilderment. Very, sir, replied Sir Handel. I remember something like this happening back on the Mid-Sodo. To cut a long story short, it didn't end well. I can't let that happen to Rheneas. Very well then, Sir Handel, said the thin controller, and thank you very much for volunteering. No worries, sir, said Sir Handel. It is Christmas Eve after all, and with a whoosh of his pistons, he steamed off to the rescue. Meanwhile, Rheneas and his passengers were freezing, having been in the cold for almost an hour. I sure hope help gets here soon, shivered Rheneas as the ice-cold wind twirled around his funnel. Me too, Rheneas, replied his fireman. Ask and you shall receive, said a voice, and steaming around the bend came Sir Handel. Sir Handel? Said a shocked Rheneas. Well, what are you doing here? I'm here to help you, Rheneas, replied Sir Handel. I could just leave you and your passengers here on Christmas Eve, could I? Both engines' crews worked quickly. Rheneas' brakes were released, and Sir Handel was given his remaining coal. Once everything was ready, the cavalcade set off to Scalaway Station. The thin controller paced the platform, worrying about his two engines, when suddenly, there came Sir Handel, hauling Rheneas and his train all by himself. I must say, I'm very proud of the both of you, he said. Rheneas, you put all of your effort into bringing these people home, and Sir Handel, your heroic action saved both Rheneas and his train. You did a jolly good job tonight, Sir Handel, said Rheneas.
Anyways, continued the controller, Rheneas shall be mended as soon as possible, and you no longer have to keep the cauldrons if you don't want to, Sir Handel, and shall also receive a new coat of paint.
And for the first time in over a month, Sir Handel gave a genuine smile. Sir Handel still grumbles from time to time, as that's just the sort of engine he is, but ever since that Christmas Eve, he's definitely become a nicer sort, and now has the respect of other engines, both big and small.